Get up right now, not just from your bed, but rise from your excuses, rise from your limitations, rise from that small voice that says maybe later. Because champions aren't born at noon. Champions are forged in the fire of the morning, when the world is quiet and your mind is loud. This is your battlefield, and how you show up in the first hour of your day will determine the power you bring to the next 23. Don't you dare hit snooze on your greatness. This is your wake-up call, to start your day like a champion and claim the life that's waiting for you. What you do in the first hour of your day sets the emotional tone, mental clarity, and physical energy for everything that follows. If you start in chaos, you'll carry that chaos. If you start in power, intention, and presence, you'll own your day. This is why champions don't stumble out of bed and reach for the phone. They rise, they get centered, they breathe, they prime their body and their mind. They don't start reacting, they start creating. Champions know that success doesn't begin at the office. It begins in the mind, in the soul, in the breath you take before sunrise. That's the time where you reconnect with your purpose, where you remind yourself of who you are and what you're made for. Because if you don't command your morning, life will command you. So before the noise of the world barges in, before the emails, the texts, the meetings, the drama, carve out that sacred space where you align with your vision. Move your body, speak your affirmations out loud like you mean them. Visualize that one big thing you're building today. Lock in your focus, wake up your physiology. This isn't motivation, it's strategy. A ritual, a daily decision to become a force of nature. You don't get to choose your circumstances, but you do get to choose your state. Every single morning, and champions choose power, not pity. They choose momentum, not mediocrity. That first hour, it's the launch pad for domination or distraction. Your future is waiting on the other side of how you start your day. So ask yourself, are you waking up like a warrior, or are you sleepwalking through your destiny? Your body is the fastest way to shift your emotional and mental state. You cannot think your way into peak energy. You must move your way into it. Champions know this secret. They don't wait for energy, they generate it. The moment you wake up, your body is either preparing to dominate or deteriorate. That's why motion is non-negotiable. You've got to activate the machine, fire up your nervous system, flood your brain with oxygen, and awaken that warrior inside. If you start your day sluggish, stiff, and static, don't be surprised if the rest of your day feels the same. But if you prime your body with intensity, even just 5 to 10 minutes, you flip the switch from passive to powerful. You see, your body is the remote control for your brain. The way you breathe, the way you stand, the way you move, it all sends messages to your mind about how you should feel. Should you feel tired? Should you feel uncertain? Should you feel like a beast ready to conquer the day? The body tells the brain what to believe. So when you move with purpose, when you stretch, when you jump, when you hit that cold shower, when you go for that morning walk, that quick workout, those push-ups, those power moves, you send one clear signal: I am alive. I am ready, let's go. This isn't about fitness, it's about freedom. It's about taking control of your energy instead of waiting for motivation to magically show up. Champions don't chase motivation, they manufacture momentum. You've got to get out of your head and into your body, because motion changes emotion. And when your emotional state is strong, you make stronger decisions. You bring more presence, more certainty, more fire to every conversation, every problem, every opportunity. That's the edge. It doesn't take hours, it takes intensity. Just 10 minutes of purposeful movement can shift you from groggy to grateful, from anxious to aggressive, from sleepy to sharp. So ask yourself every morning, am I moving like someone who's about to win? Or am I dragging through life like someone who's already defeated? Change your physiology and you change your reality. Champions know that power lives in the body first, and when the body leads, the mind follows. Before the world floods in with noise, chaos, demands, and distractions, you must own your mind. Because if you don't command your thoughts first thing in the morning, the world will hijack them, and you'll spend the day reacting instead of creating. Champions don't start their day by scrolling. They don't plug into other people's opinions, drama, and negativity the moment they wake up. They guard their mind like it's a kingdom, because it is. The mind is a battlefield, and the first few moments after waking up are the most vulnerable. Your brain is in a highly suggestible state. It's absorbing whatever you feed it. So if you begin your day with panic, with social media, with bad news, with emails screaming for your attention, then you've already surrendered your sword. You've lost the war before the fight even began. But when you start your morning with intention, when you feed your mind with clarity, purpose, and vision, you build armor. You create momentum from the inside out. Champions design their inner world before they face the outer world. That's what separates the leaders from the followers. You can't lead a powerful life with a passive mind, so take control. Declare what this day means to you. What do you want to feel? Who do you want to become? What is your mission today? Speak it out loud. Rehearse your greatness in your mind before the world ever sees it. Meditate, reflect, focus. Just 10 minutes of mental clarity in the morning can mean the difference between breakthrough and burnout. Champions practice presence before performance. They don't let their mind drift. They direct it. Because focus is power, and where focus goes, energy flows. Your mind is either your most powerful weapon or your greatest liability. That's why champions don't just train their body. They condition their thinking. They don't allow fear to take root in the morning. They replace it with gratitude, with certainty, with purpose. So take back control. Don't wake up into the world. Wake up for it. Dominate the conversation in your head before the world starts talking. That's how you step into your day with power, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Gratitude is the antidote to fear, stress, and frustration. It's impossible to feel angry and grateful at the same time. And that's why champions start their day by priming their emotions with gratitude. Not when everything's going right, not when life feels perfect, but especially when it doesn't, because gratitude isn't a result. It's a muscle, and when you flex it daily, you build emotional resilience that no circumstance can shake. Before they step into the arena of life, champions pause and connect to what's already working. It could be the breath in their lungs, the roof over their head, the opportunity to wake up and fight another day. They don't take these for granted. They feel them deeply, because when you anchor yourself in appreciation, your problems shrink. Your perspective shifts. You stop living in a state of lack and start operating from a place of abundance. That changes everything. But gratitude is only half of the formula. The other half is vision. See, gratitude grounds you in what is. Vision pulls you into what's possible. When you combine the two, you create unstoppable emotional drive. Champions don't wait for the day to give them direction. They give the day direction. They visualize the outcome they want with such clarity that their brain begins to believe it's already happening. They feel the win before it arrives. They see themselves closing the deal, finishing the workout, leading the team, overcoming the fear. They live it in their mind before they live it in reality. And when you connect that vision with deep emotion, when you link it to something bigger than comfort or convenience, you activate purpose. Purpose is the ultimate fuel. It gets you up when you don't feel like it. It drives you when everything around you says stop. Champions tie their vision to something meaningful, something worth fighting for. So every morning, take just a few minutes. Close your eyes, feel grateful for what is, see clearly what will be. Prime your emotional state with appreciation and intention, because if you don't design your future, someone else will, and you weren't born to live by default. You were born to lead by design. Clarity is power. Every single day, champions wake up and ask themselves one powerful question. What's the one outcome that, if I achieved it today, would move my life forward? Not 50 goals. Not a to-do list that drowns you in busy work. Just one bold, clear, meaningful outcome, because movement without direction is wasted energy, but focused action. That's how champions create momentum. Your brain needs a target. Without it, you drift. You fall into distraction, procrastination, and overwhelm. But when you wake up and decide, this is the mission today, this is the hill I'm climbing, your entire being rallies behind that intention. Your mind sharpens, your body engages. You stop reacting to life and start driving it. Champions don't hope to have a productive day. They engineer it. They wake up and identify the highest leverage action they can take. Maybe it's having that uncomfortable conversation. Maybe it's pushing through a creative block. Maybe it's closing a deal, launching a project, or simply showing up with full presence for someone who needs them. Whatever it is, it's not small. It stretches them, it challenges them, because they know that comfort is the enemy of growth, and growth is the standard they live by. Once they've chosen that outcome, champions don't just keep it in their head, they write it down. They speak it aloud. They emotionally associate with the result. They own it. They imagine how it will feel once it's done. They make it real in their mind so it becomes non-negotiable in their actions. That level of clarity turns ordinary days into extraordinary progress. Don't let your day be consumed by shallow wins and cheap dopamine. Don't fill it with tasks that feel productive but lead nowhere. Instead, ask, what's the one thing that will move the needle? Then go after it with everything you've got. Because progress equals happiness. And when you end your day knowing you conquered something that mattered, something bold, you don't just go to bed tired. You go to bed fulfilled. So every morning, make the decision, what's my bold outcome today? Choose it, commit to it, crush it. That's how champions stack victories, one powerful morning at a time. The most important conversation you'll have all day is the one you have with yourself. Before the world says a word, before your boss gives feedback, before your friends or your family weigh in, you've already decided how you feel about you, and that decision is shaped by your inner dialogue. Champions speak to themselves with power, with certainty, with belief, not because they're delusional, but because they understand the truth. Your brain believes what you repeat. If you wake up and your first thoughts are, I'm tired, I'm behind, I can't handle this, you've already surrendered the day. Your thoughts become commands, and your body responds accordingly. Energy drops. Focus fades, confidence shrinks, but when you wake up and declare, I've got this, I am built for this, today I rise, today I dominate, you light the fire within, you don't wait for external praise. You generate your own certainty. Champions program their mind like a champion. They don't leave their self-talk to chance. They use incantations, spoken out loud with intensity and emotion, to rewire their beliefs. They don't whisper, they roar. They command their state, and they do it daily, because repetition creates belief, and belief drives behavior. When you speak to yourself like a victim, you'll act like one. When you speak to yourself like a champion, you'll show up like one. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about reminding yourself of who you really are underneath the noise, the fear, and the past. You are stronger than your excuses. You are smarter than your doubts. You are bigger than your setbacks. But none of that matters if you don't tell yourself that every single morning. Words shape identity, and identity shapes destiny. So speak life into your mission. Speak courage into your challenges. Speak truth into your soul. Be the voice you need to hear. because the world will try to tell you who you are. But when you've already made that decision, with power, with passion, with purpose, nothing can shake you. So tomorrow morning, when your feet hit the floor, say it like you mean it. I am unstoppable, I am focused, I am here to win, let's go. That's how champions speak. That's how champions start their day.